Welcome to Tungal Online Classes. Today we are going to discuss about the topic the magnetic field intensity at a point on the axial line of a circular current carrying coil. What we are going to discuss today? We are going to discuss the magnetic field intensity at a point on the axial line of a circular current carrying coil. So before going to discuss about this circular current carrying coil, in the last class we discussed about Biot-Savart law. Which topic we discussed? Biot-Savart law. So the Biot-Savart law will be giving what? The Biot-Savart law will be giving the amount of the magnetic field intensity at a given point due to the small element having the length of dl through which I amount of current will be flowing. So according to the Biot-Savart law, we will write according to Biot-Savart law. So the magnetic field intensity due to the small element will be given by in the last topic we derive that value is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into dl bar cross r bar by r cube. This is the equation we derived in the last lecture. So dV bar is indicating what? The magnetic field intensity due to the small element. This point is very, very important. All the applications what we are going to now we will discuss. All these applications are based upon the Biot-Savart law. So in the Biot-Savart law, the first application of the Biot-Savart law is the magnetic field intensity due to the circular current carrying globe. So for that I consider just the fundamental equation of the Biot-Savart law, that will be given by what? dB bar is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I into dl bar cross r bar by r cube. Now coming to the topic, so here we consider a circular current carrying globe. We consider what? A circular current carrying globe which is having a radius of capital R. So capital R is indicating what? The radius of the circular current carrying globe is equal to what? Capital R. And through the circular current carrying globe, I assuming that I amount of current will be flowing through the circular current carrying coil. How much current was flowing? I amount of current will be flowing. So the basic idea we know that according to the Ørsted principle, what he was told that whenever a current is flowing through the any one of the current carrying conductor around the current carrying conductor magnetic field was developed. What is the fundamental law of Ørsted principle? According to the Ørsted principle, whenever a current is flowing through the any one of the current carrying conductor around the current carrying conductor, magnetic field will be developed. Now so this is which type of current carrying conductor? Circular current carrying conductor. So even though it is a circular current carrying conductor through which whenever certain amount of the current will be flowing around the circular loop, magnetic field was developed around the circular loop. If you took a straight current carrying conductor, around the straight carrying conductor magnetic field will be developed. Here what we took here? We took a circular current carrying loop. Even though you took the circular current carrying loop, around the circular current carrying loop, the magnetic field will be developed. But what is our aim? So if a circular current carrying loop is given, we have to consider an axial line. So we have to consider one axial line which is passing through its center. So I want to calculate the magnetic field at the axial point. That is nothing but we have to consider a point P on the axial line of the circular current carrying globe. So what we have to consider? I consider a point P. I consider a point P which is located over the axial line of the circular current carrying loop. So my aim is I want to calculate the magnetic field intensity at the point P. Now, so this is the entire conductor. So for the entire conductor, we don't have any direct formula for calculating the magnetic field. So the Biot-Savart law will be giving the formula that the Biot-Savart law will be saying that when you consider a small element, having the length of dl and through which whenever I amount of current will be flowing, you have to calculate the magnetic field at a given point which is the distance of small r. So for that purpose, I have to consider a small element over the circular current carrying loop. If you want to apply the Biot-Savart law, what you must consider? You must consider a small element over the circular current carrying loop. So here, over the circular current carrying loop, I consider a small element dl. I consider what? A small element dl. So this is small portion of the length which is indicating with what? Dl. So I know that dl element was assumed. Now, if I amount of current is flowing through the loop, same amount of current is also flowing through the small element. What is the small I? I is indicating what? The current which is flowing through the circular loop. If I amount of current is flowing through the circular loop, the same amount of also current is flowing what? Small element dl. Now, from the element dl to the point P, I draw the position vector which is indicated with the what? R bar. So, R bar is indicating what? The position vector of the point P, which is drawn from the small element dl. So, according to the Biot-Savart law, the magnetic field intensity at the point P, in the vector notation will be given by, dV bar is equal to what? Mu naught by 4 pi, I into dl bar cross r bar by r cube, which is indicating the magnetic field intensity, which is produced by the small element at the point P. Now, some assumptions we have to assume. These assumptions are very, very important to know the direction of the magnetic field. So here I am assuming that this axial line, whatever the axial line I was assumed, this axial line will be present along the x-axis. Axial line will be present along which axis? X-axis. So that the axial line will be passing through the x-axis and whatever the circular coil will be considered, the circular coil is placed in the YZ plane. The circular coil will be placed in which plane? YZ plane. So this is the origin. This is indicating what? X-axis, and this line is indicating what? Y-axis. So if you imagine a circular ring, a circular current carrying coil will be placed vertically, its plane is nothing but YZ plane. So the plane in which the coil will be placed, they will be assuming as a what? YZ plane. And the position vector R bar, the position vector R bar will be placed, the position vector R bar will be placed. See here. So this point is what? Y-axis, and this point is what? X-axis. If you look at the diagram, R bar will be placed, R bar will be existed in which plane? XY plane. R bar will be existed in which plane? XY plane. So these 2 points we have to understood earlier. So once again, in which plane the coil was placed? The coil will be placed along the YZ plane. The plane will be placed along the what? YZ plane. And the position vector R bar, which is drawn from the small element dl to the point P, will be existed in the XY plane. XY plane. Now, once again you coming to the basic equation, dV bar is equal to what we wrote there, mu naught by 4 pi into I. So all these terms are indicating the scalar quantities. So here dB bar is equal to dl bar cross r bar. dB bar is equal to what? dl bar cross r bar. So if you assume dB bar will be as the vector c bar, dB bar vector will be as what? C bar, and the dl bar is equal to what? A bar, and r bar is equal to what? B bar. So it is in the form of vector c bar is equal to cross product of the two vectors a bar and b bar. So from that, what we have to understood from the basic idea of the cross product, c bar vector is a perpendicular to a bar. C bar vector is a perpendicular to a bar. Simultaneously, C bar vector is also perpendicular to B bar. So, if any two vectors will be represented, by the cross product, their resultant vector C bar is a perpendicular to A bar, as well as C bar is also perpendicular to what? B bar. So, from this basic idea of the cross product, so I will write the magnetic field intensity dB bar. The magnetic field intensity dB bar is a perpendicular to dl bar. The magnetic field vector dB bar is a what? Perpendicular to dl bar. That means dl bar will be in which plane? YZ plane. dl bar will be present in which plane? YZ plane. That means dB bar will be existed in the plane. dB bar will be existed in the plane which is perpendicular to the YZ plane. Once again, this point is we needed. So dB bar is a perpendicular to dl bar. Where the dl bar actually present? YZ plane. Okay, YZ plane. So in which plane the dB bar will be present means dB bar will be existed in a plane. dB bar will be what? Existed in a plane which is perpendicular to the YZ plane. And also we write dB bar is also perpendicular to position vector r bar. dB bar is also perpendicular to what? Position vector r bar. So the position vector will be placed in which plane? XY plane. The position vector will be present in which plane? XY plane. That means from this what we will say again, the plane in which dB bar will be perpendicular to the XY plane. So from this we have to assume that, so from these two conditions, the dB bar plane will be perpendicular to YZ plane, as well as it is also perpendicular to the XY plane. From this we will say that the magnetic field vector dB bar must be existed in XZ plane only. So from the above two examples, what we have to confirm is dB bar is a perpendicular to the YZ plane, and the dB bar is also perpendicular to what? XY plane. Only three planes we have in the 3D dimensional plane. One is XY plane, YZ plane, and ZX plane or XZ plane. So dB bar is a perpendicular to YZ plane, as well as dB bar is also perpendicular to XY plane. Means this point we have to understood the dB bar, the magnetic field vector, must be existed in the plane of xz plane. If you see here, xz plane is a perpendicular to xy plane, xz plane is also perpendicular to what? Yz plane. So therefore, whatever the magnetic field intensity produced by the small element dl, at the point P will be existed in which plane? XZ plane only. This point we have to understood. In the diagram, in the textbook's diagram, simply they represent the direction of the magnetic field is like this. Simply they represent what? The direction of the magnetic field is like this. How it is came, how we have to understood, and in which plane it will be existed means, this basic idea we have to understood. Once again see, from the definition of the cross product, dB bar is a perpendicular to dl bar, dB bar is a perpendicular to what? dl bar. That means dB bar is a perpendicular to yz plane. Simultaneously, dB bar is also perpendicular to what? xy plane. And the plane which is a perpendicular to the common planes of yz and xy planes is nothing but xz plane. So from that we concluded that the magnetic field intensity vector dB bar will be existed in the xz plane. xz plane. Now coming to the derivation. So here if you assume it is indicating the z-axis. This dotted line is indicating what? Z-axis. Already we assume this axial line is along which axis? This axial line will be taken as a what? X-axis. So this axial line will be taking as a what? X-axis, and this dotted line will be indicating what? This dotted line will be indicating what? Z-axis. I am assuming that this magnetic field intensity vector dB bar, will makes an angle of phi radians with respect to the z-axis. Already this basic idea we know. If any one of the vector will be placed in the given plane, it will be making certain angle with respect to the respective axis. That means if you consider the xy plane, it is making certain angle with respect to the x-axis as well as some more angle with respect to the y-axis. Here also, whenever the dB bar will be present in the xz plane, so this dB bar will be making certain angle with respect to the x-axis as well as the y-axis. But here I am assuming that this dB bar vector makes phi angle with respect to which axis I consider here? Z-axis I consider. So dB bar will be making how much angle with respect to the Z-axis? Phi angle. So if this angle will be is equal to phi radians, from the geometry, this angle also is equal to what? Phi radians. That angle also is equal to what? Phi radians. Now, if any one of the vector will be making an angle of phi radians with respect to the Z-axis, in this direction, what component was present means that will be nothing but dB cos phi. So the vector dB bar will be making phi radians with respect to the z-axis, means the component of the magnetic field, which was present along the z-axis will be given by dB cos phi, and the component present along the x-axis is equal to dB sin phi. So here, if you consider one more element that is nothing but dl symmetric to this one, symmetric to this one. So whatever we consider the element in the vertically upward position, so symmetric to that one, if you consider one more small element at the bottom, so by the symmetry, so the magnetic field vector dB bar will be existing in this direction, and it's a dB cos phi component, it's a dB cos phi component will be acting in the vertically downward direction, that is nothing but negative z axis. So that from this what we will say, by symmetry dB cos terms are getting cancelled out. If you consider the symmetric conditions, which components will be cancelled out means what? dB cos phi components will be cancelled out. Once again, see here we consider the small element dl, on the circumference of the circular current carrying coil, Now, according to the Biot-Savart law, what you know, dB bar. What is the dB bar? The magnetic field intensity which is developed by the current flowing through the small element, which is given by dB bar is equal to what? dB bar is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I into dl bar cross r bar by r cube. It is written in the form of vector notation. So I am assuming that the vector dB bar will be as c bar, and dl bar will be as a bar, and r bar will be b bar. So from this basic definition of the cross product, C bar is a perpendicular to A bar, and C bar is also perpendicular to what? B bar. That only we wrote here. If you consider the circular current carrying coil, so that a dB bar will be perpendicular to what? DL bar, and dB bar is also perpendicular to what? R bar. But I want to know in which direction or in which plane the magnetic field will be existing. For that purpose, I assumed that the axial line which is passing through the center of the coil will be existing along the x-axis, and this circular coil will be placed in which plane? YZ plane, and the position vector r bar will be present in which plane? XY plane. So from this basics of the geometry, we told that the magnetic field intensity dB bar will be existed in the XZ plane. Now I am assuming that this dB bar will be making an angle of 5 radians with respect to the z axis, so that I resolve that the magnetic field intensity into rectangular components. dB cos phi term will be acting along the positive z axis. If you consider an symmetrical element dl at the bottom of the circular current carrying loop, so by the symmetry, the cos component of that element will be acting in the vertically downward direction. That only we wrote here. By the symmetry, dB cos phi terms will be getting cancelled out. Now see here. So that the remaining derivation part we will see here. What you wrote here, dB bar is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into dl bar cross r bar by r cube. So this dB is we written in the notation of vector notation. Now I want to calculate the magnitude of the dB, value. So the magnitude of dB value is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. dB value is equal to how much? The basic equation for the Biot-Savart law, dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi ideal sin theta by r square. Because here dl plane and position vector plane, dl bar plane and position vector plane are perpendicular to each other, because dl plane will be existing in the yz plane, position vector r bar plane will be existing in the xy plane. That means those two terms are present in the different planes which are perpendicular to each other, Once again, here dl bar will be present in which plane? It is present in the yz plane, and r bar was present in the xz plane. That means here two different vectors will be placed in the two different planes, and moreover those two are perpendicular to each other, so that the angle between the dl bar and r bar is nothing but theta is equal to 90 degrees. Here theta is indicating what? Angle between the dl bar as well as r bar. Once again, most of the people will be getting confused here. Why the theta is equal to 90? dl bar was present in the yz plane, and the position vector r bar will be placed in the xy plane, and moreover those two planes are perpendicular to each other, hence those two vectors are also perpendicular to each other. That's why we are writing what? Theta is equal to 90. Therefore this value is equal to dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into dl by I into what? dl by r square. Now coming to here, if you consider only the small element dl, so some component of magnetic field will be acting along the x-axis and the remaining component will be acting along the z-axis. By the symmetry we told which components are getting cancelled out? dB cos phi components will be getting cancelled out. So which components are getting cancelled out? dB cos phi components are getting cancelled out. Then who are giving the result in the magnetic field? So the result in the magnetic field will be given by dB sin phi components only. Resultant magnetic field will be given by whom? The sum of all the dB sin phi components only. Therefore resultant magnetic field intensity B is equal to integral of dB into sin phi. Integral of what? dB into sin phi. Cos phi components are getting cancelled out, and only which components are giving the resultant magnetic field? dB sin phi components only giving the resultant magnetic field. That's why I wrote the resultant magnetic field intensity B is equal to integral of dB sin phi. Integral dB value is equal to what? Mu naught by 4 pi I into dl by r square. Sin phi value I needed. If you look at this diagram, so this is one right angle triangle. From this, sin phi is equal to what? Sin phi is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse line. Sin phi is equal to how much? Capital R by small r. What is the capital R? Capital R is nothing but radius, and the small r is indicating what? Length of the hypotenuse. That small r value also is equal to under root of r square plus x square. So r value is equal to what? Under root of r square plus x square. Now substitute this value here. Integral of mu naught by 4 pi. Now substitute the sin phi value in this equation. Sin phi value is equal to what? R by small r. So this value is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into dl into r by r. Now see, so what you got here, b is equal to integral of mu naught by 4 pi I dl capital R by R cube. Here, what are the constant factors? Mu naught by 4 pi is a constant. I, current value will be constant. R, radius of the loop will be constant. Small r, what is small r? Hypotenuse length. So, that value is also constant. Therefore, write the constant terms outside. B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi I into R by small r cube integral dl. What is the dl there? dl is indicating the length of the small element. So integral dl means the total length of the circular loop. Integral dl is indicating what? Total length of the circular loop. So therefore, the total length of the circular loop is nothing but its circumference mu naught by 4 pi I into R by small r cube. Integral dl value is equal to 2 pi r. Integral dl value is equal to what? 2 pi r. So 2 pi 2 times. So this value is equal to mu naught into I into r square by 2 into small r cube. Mu naught into I into r square by 2 into small r cube. But you know that small r is equal to under root of r square plus x square. R square plus x square. R. Small r is equal to r square plus x square whole power 1 by. Small r value is equal to what? R square plus x square whole power 3 by. Substitute this value here. You will get mu naught by 2 into in the numerator the term will be remain same. I into r square by, in the place of small r square plus x square whole power 1 by 2, again whole cube will be there. So therefore, the resultant field intensity at the axial point is equal to, the final formula is mu naught into I into r square by 2 into r square plus x square whole power 3. So this is the required expression for the magnetic field intensity, at an axial point due to the circular current carrying loop. So very important formula. B is equal to, what is the formula? Mu naught I into r square by 2 into r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. What is the capital R there? Capital R is indicating the radius of the circular loop and x is indicating what? The position of the point P, on the axial line from the center of the circular current carrying loop. So this is a resultant expression for magnetic field intensity due to circular current carrying loop. See, so what you got the final equation here? B axial is equal to mu naught into I into r square by 2 into r square plus x square whole power 3 by. Now we will see some special cases here. So case 1. If the loop is consisting of capital N number of turns. If the loop is consisting of how many number of turns? Capital N number of turns. So generally, whatever the general equation we derive by assuming that a circular current carrying loop is consisting of only one loop. In general, in the numericals, they are asking that if the loop is consisting of 100 number of turns, calculate the magnetic field intensity. Like that, they will be mentioning the number of turns. So whenever the loop is consisting of capital N number of turns, so the current value becomes to N into I. The current value becomes to what? N into I. If you consider only one loop, the current is equal to I. If you consider the n number of loops, the current value becomes to what? N into I value. Therefore, the resultant field will be given by mu naught. In the place of I, what we have to write? Mu naught Ni R square by mu naught Ni R square by 2 into R square plus x square whole power 3 by 2, whole power 3 by 2. So this is the case when you assume the given loop is consisting of capital N number of terms. At that time, the expression for the magnetic field intensity will be given by B is equal to mu naught Ni into R square by 2 into R square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. Now, in the second case, so here this formula where you calculate the magnetic field intensity at a given point on the axial line. Suppose in case 2, if the point P, whatever the point P you assume on the axial line, if the point P is at the center of the loop. So if you consider the point P will be placed where? At the center of the loop. So that is nothing but they are asking that if you consider a circular current carrying coil, having the radius of R, and it is also consisting of n number of turns, then you find the magnetic field intensity at the center of the circular current carrying coil. It is also important application. So what they are asking, just you have to find the magnetic field intensity at the center of the circular current carrying loop. So at the center means whenever the point P will be came to the center of the loop, x value is equal to 0. Is it right? So whenever it is at the axial line, so we measured some distance from the center of the loop to the particular point P. So at that time, x value will be existed. So whenever the same point P is came to the center of the loop, so x value becomes to what? 0. Now you substitute the x value is equal to 0 in the general equation. What is the general equation for the n number of loops? B is equal to mu naught Ni R square by B is equal to what? Mu naught Ni R square by 2 into R square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So this is a general expression when the circular current carrying loop is consisting of n number of turns. Now if you put x is equal to 0 in this equation, so this value becomes to what? Mu naught Ni R square by 2 into R square plus 0 whole power 3 by 2. Mu naught Ni R square by 2 into R square whole power 3 by 2. So if you simplify this value, you will get magnetic field at the center of the circular current carrying loop. Magnetic field intensity at the center of the circular current carrying loop will be equal to what is the standard formula? B is equal to mu naught Ni by 2R. B is equal to what? Mu naught Ni by 2R. When you consider the magnetic field at the center of the circular current carrying loop, suppose if it is consisting of only one number of turns, so if n value is equal to 1, that means if a circular current carrying loop is consisting of a single turn, this value becomes to 1. Magnetic field at the center is equal to mu naught I by 2. So this is another application of Biot-Savart law. And the next topic is circular current carrying loop. will be acting as a magnetic dipole. Will be acting as a magnetic dipole. So before going to discuss, we have to know about what is the magnetic dipole. What is the magnetic dipole? So magnetic dipole is nothing but a bar magnet. So which is having the two poles. One is the south pole, another one is the north pole. So if you take any one of the bar magnet, it must be having the two poles. One is the south pole as well as north pole. So if you consider any one of the bar magnet, for that bar magnet, it has some magnetic moment. If you consider any one of the bar magnet, the bar magnet will be having a what? Magnetic moment. So the magnetic momentum of the bar magnet will be represented by the symbol capital M. So they mentioned that a circular current carrying loop will be acting as a magnetic dipole. So first we have to know about what is the magnetic dipole. So simply the magnetic dipole is nothing but bar magnet. It is having the two poles. One is the south pole as well as the north pole. If you consider any one of the magnetic dipole, the fundamental property it have, that is nothing but magnetic moment. So magnetic moment means represented by the symbol capital M, and this magnetic moment is also a vector quantity. Magnetic moment is also what? Vector quantity. So if you represent this magnetic momentum as a vector quantity, what is its direction? The direction of the magnetic moment. Is always taken from south pole to the north pole. So if any time they mentioned about the magnetic dipole means, we have to know about 3 points. Magnetic dipole means what? Basically it is having the two poles. One is the north pole, another one is the what? South pole, and its magnetic moment is represented by a symbol of capital M, and it is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means it is having the direction whose direction was indicated from south pole to the north pole. So in this topic, if a circular current carrying coil will be acting as a magnetic dipole, we have to derive the expression for the magnetic momentum of the dipole. Here what we are going to derive, actually we are going to derive the expression for magnetic momentum of the dipole. Now once again coming to the basic. Already we derived. What we derive? If you consider a circular current carrying loop. Here I consider only the single loop. For the single circular current carrying loop, the magnetic field intensity at a point on the axial line will be given by B is equal to mu naught I into R square by B is equal to what? Mu naught I into R square by 2 into R square plus X square whole power 3 by 2. R square plus X square whole power 3 by 2. I am assuming that whatever the point P we consider on the axial line, that is very far away from the center of the loop. That is, the X value will be much greater than R. X value will be what? Much greater than R. At that time, R square term is neglected in the denominator. Whenever the X value will be much greater than the R square term will be neglected in the denominator. Now, the resultant equation becomes to what? Mu naught into I into R square by 2 into R square term is neglected. So this value is equal to what? X square whole power 3 by square, and this 2 will be getting cancelled. So this value is equal to mu naught into I into R square by 2 into x cube. This is indicating what? The magnetic field intensity on the axial line whenever x is much greater than R. So this will be modified as mu naught by 2 I am multiplying with 2 pi and dividing with 2 pi. Multiplying with 2 pi and dividing with 2 pi into I into r square by x cube. I into r square by x cube. So if you simplify this one, 2 into 2 pi, 4 pi. So b is equal to mu naught by 4 pi. B is equal to what? Mu naught by 4 pi. Okay. Next, here I am writing as 2 into I into 2 into I into pi r square by x cube. 2 into I into pi r square by x cube. This 2 into 2 pi becomes to what? 4 pi in the denominator. So 2 we written, okay, separately. I we written separately. Pi into r square we write together. Pi into r square we write together. So here pi r square will be indicating what? So pi r square will be indicating the area of the loop. A is equal to what? Pi r square. That value will be indicating what? Area of the circular loop. Area of the circular loop. Because we consider the current carrying loop will be in the form of a circular shape. So that its area value is equal to what? Pi r square. That area will be indicating to what symbol? Capital B. Now the above equation becomes to what? B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi. B is equal to what? Mu naught by 4 pi. 2 into I into E. 2 into I into E by x cube. 2 into I into A by x cube. This is the final equation we got when you assume x will be much greater than I. Okay? Now, in electrostatics, in the concept of the electrical dipole, the electric field intensity on the axial line, will be given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 into p by x cube. 2 into p by x cube. So here already we derived this formula in the previous lesson. So that the value will be given by electric field intensity at the axial line will be given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 into p by x cube, where p is indicating what? P is indicating the electrical dipole moment. P is indicating what? Electrical dipole moment. Suppose if you took the magnetic field intensity on the axial line, in the next topic, magnetism topic will be coming. So there you will get the formula mu naught by 4 pi 2 into m by x cube. 2 into m by x cube. Either you consider the electric field concept or magnetism concept. Whatever the topic you consider, the magnetic field intensity or the electric field intensity at a point on the axial line will be given by either 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2 into p by x cube or 2 into m by x cube. So there m is indicating what? Magnetic momentum of the bar magnet. Magnetic momentum of the bar magnet. So if you compare these equations, equation number 2, equation number 3 and equation number 4, in the place of the dipole moment, which term was present means I into A. So from this we will write, therefore magnetic dipole moment which is represented with the symbol of capital M. Magnetic dipole moment capital M is equal to, from these observations we are writing that M is equal to I into A. M is equal to what? I into A. So when you assumed that the loop is consisting of a single turn. If the loop is consisting of n number of turns, this is for one turn. M is equal to IA, which is equal to what? One turn. M is equal to, we will write NIA. Whenever the loop is consisting of n number of turns. The loop is consisting of what? N number of turns. So that is the expression for magnetic momentum of the circular current carrying loop. So here For this circular current carrying loop, magnetic momentum was existed means the circular current carrying coil itself will be behaves as a magnetic dipole. So for the magnetic dipole only magnetic momentum was existed. So I derived the expression for what? Magnetic momentum. So whenever the magnetic momentum was existed, automatically that is acting as a what? Magnetic dipole. So from these observations, what we will say that a circular current carrying coil will be behaves as a dipole, magnetic dipole. Okay. Now, so previously what we said, if you consider a circular current carrying loop that is behaves as a magnetic dipole. So the basic knowledge what we have there, if any one of the bar magnet is said to be magnetic dipole, it must be having the two poles, one is the south pole as well as the north pole. Now we told that according to the equation what we derive, M is equal to NIA, the circular loop is also behaving as a magnetic dipole. So generally one common doubt will arises. So if a circular current carrying loop will be acting as a magnetic dipole, whether it is having the two poles, whether it is having what? Two poles in it. So the answer is yes. How? North pole as well as south pole will be existing for the circular current carrying loop. Now we will see. So I am assuming that a circular current carrying loop was taken. In that circular current carrying loop, the current will be flowing in the anti-clockwise direction. If you consider a circular current carrying loop, in one of the phase the current was present in the anti-clockwise direction, and the another side the same current will be appeared that should be flowing in the clockwise direction. For one side of the loop it is appears as in anti-clockwise direction, for the other side of the loop the current will be appears in the form of the clockwise direction. So whenever a current will be flowing in the circular loop in the anti-clockwise direction, the phase in which current will be flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, that phase will be appears as north pole, or that phase will be treated as north pole. Once again, the phase of the circular current carrying loop, in which the current will be flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, that the phase of the coil will be behaves as north pole. It is also we explained from the basic right hand thumb rule. Whenever the current will be flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, the thumb is vertically outwards. Thumb is representing what? The direction of the lines of force. So the direction of the lines of force will be giving the direction of the magnetic field. Direction of the magnetic lines of force are always coming out of the north pole only. Always the magnetic field lines are coming out from which pole? North pole only. So that from all these observations, we will say that whenever the current in the loop was present in the anti-clockwise direction, that a respective surface will be acting as a north pole. Now, on the another face of the coil, the same current will be flowing in the clockwise direction. Now if you see, if a current is flowing in the clockwise direction, the field lines will be inverse. So magnetic field lines are coming out from the north pole, and the magnetic field lines are entered into the south pole. So here magnetic field lines are acting inverse means this is the phase of the loop. that the face of the loop will be acting as a, the face of the loop will be acting as a south pole. The face of the loop will be acting as a what? South pole. So from these observations, we will say that a circular current carrying loop will be acting as the magnetic dipole, and the face in which current will be present in the anti-clockwise direction, that phase will be acting as a, north pole. The phase in which current was present in the clockwise direction, that phase will be acting as a south pole. So hence north pole is existed as well as south pole is also existed. So then we will say a circular current carrying loop will be acting as a magnetic dipole. And moreover, so here if you consider a circular current carrying loop is placed in the horizontal plane. A circular current carrying loop is placed in the horizontal plane, through which I amount of current will be flowing. So already we wrote magnetic momentum is equal to I into E. Here a magnetic momentum is a vector quantity. Magnetic momentum is a what? Vector quantity. M bar is equal to I into A bar. Here A bar will be taken as aerial vector. So the aerial vector will be given by the normal to the plane. So that in which direction aerial vector will be present? In the same direction. Magnetic momentum is also existing. In the same direction, the magnetic momentum is also existing. So by using this, we are also calculating the direction of the magnetic moment. So this is about complete information about circular current carrying coil, its magnetic field on the axial line and at the center, and how it behaves as a magnetic dipole. Thank you.